morning, everyone. Thank you. How are you? Excellent. Me too. I know that it's cold out this time instead of warm. Okay, that's an inside joke. So thank you again for being here. Yes, you remembered. Want to thank you for being here, and for all you who are tuning in online. We appreciate you doing that. Our service today includes our wonderful musicians. You've just heard from Yangco on clarinet, Terry O'Hara on piano, and our special musician today is Stephan Plummer. Our practitioners in service today are Pam Migliozzi on platform, Mona Williams holding consciousness in back, the high watch, and Bev Holland will be giving her message today on what is the messages or the focus of December, the belonging and community. Is anyone here for the first time? No? Yes, well, thank you for coming. We want to welcome you here. Thank you for finding us. It's always good to see the new and old faces mixed together. Thank you. You know, it's always good to remind ourselves of who we are as a whole. The Center for Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God or Spirit. This Spirit inspires and guides, supports and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest good for creation. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source, and we are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Now here's Pam for our meditation and opening prayer.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. Before we get started today, just want to make you aware I've been asked to advise our congregation that our beloved longtime practitioner, Carolyn Perot, who many of you have known through the years, this is her special chair here. She is at home with her son right now, Eric, who is our wonderful AV man, and Ronald, thank you so much, is filling in for him today. Carolyn is extremely ill, and if we could I'd just like to just pause for just a moment, just go into a silent prayer for Carolyn, for Eric, and for their family, knowing that God is present right here, right now, and is surrounding Carolyn and Eric with love, and just to know that all will be well. Just one moment. Thank you. And now, just to move into this morning's meditation. I do know that all is well. I invite you just to close your eyes, to become comfortable, to know that we are here in the present, surrounded by the love of God, who is right here, right now, in this very moment, embracing each of us with the love and the power and the joy that is God. This morning I have chosen for our meditation joy and music. And I invite you to allow your mind to embrace and relish the feeling of pure joy. I invite you to say these words silently to yourself. I am a gift of joy and music that God gives to a wonderful world. I am a gift of joy and music that God gives to a wonderful world. There are many aspects to joy. joy when we are with family and friends, joy when listening, singing, or dancing to music. Music brings joy to the soul. Whatever brings you to that place of joy, I invite you to experience that joyful feeling. Allow your mind to travel to that place, that deep place of peace within your soul and within your heart, which brings you complete joy. When we have the divine spirit in our heart, we truly have joy and music in our soul, and we have joy in our life. The following words are from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. Joy is the realization of the truth of oneness, the oneness of our soul with supreme love. I feel the throb of life in all the harmony of form around me, in tree and flower and in grass, in blue sky and clouds, in the beauty of the evening sunset. Wherever I look, I hear and feel the underlying joyous note that life sings and comes through to its culmination in spirit, made manifest through each human being. And these are the words of our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And let us say yes to the joy of music. Music brings us joy in so many ways. Allow your mind to travel to all of the times that you have reveled in the joy of music. And we are so blessed to experience that joy of music each Sunday right here in our center with our gifted musicians. The following quote is from Rumi. A divine dance appears in the soul and the body at the time of peace and union. Anyone can learn the dance. Just listen to the music. And once again, just say these beautiful words to yourself. I am a gift of joy and music that God gives to a wonderful world. And so as the service unfolds today, I know that all is well. I know that the beautiful words that Bev will bring to this congregation today resonate with each of us. Bev's words of love and joy and just knowing that this is the perfect service. And the music today that we have heard and will continue to hear from our musicians touches each of us in that very personal way that music touches our hearts. This is a good day. This is a day of love, and this is a day of peace. And as we begin to enter the week of Christmas, let us just experience the love and the joy and the excitement of this beautiful season. And so I gratefully, I release this prayer into the law of mind, knowing that all is well and all is perfect. And I say, thank you, God. And so it is.
Thank you for that reminder. Isn't that a beautiful reminder? So I'm Stephan Plummer, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living in Tacoma. And this is going to be my last time for a while, maybe ever, I don't know. But I've been coming here for many years, and I hope that I have hopeful visions of the future, but I don't know that. But I just want to say thank you that, I've loved coming here once a month for over a decade, well over a decade, probably 15 years or so. But, when I was little, when I knew that was mine to do is because, I went to a Pentecostal church and I was probably maybe 4 or 5 years old. I could barely talk. And they put me right up on the stage. They said, you get right up on that stage. And all the children were looking at me, and we sang Deep and Wide, There's a Fountain Flowing. Do you know that song? You know that song? You remember that when you were a kid? Yeah. And then they'd be making treats in the back. And we were like hungry country kids, So right mid-song, I would run off the stage to the back because I wanted to see what was back there, cookies and juice. And they'd come and get me, and they'd say, no, you got to finish the songs, and then we'll go get the treats. But anyway, it was back then that I was like, I knew that this is what God had in mind for me. So here I am, all these many, many decades later, getting on the stage. I'm not going to sing that one, though. But I sing God is my source because, God is, all of this stuff, all of this, me, you, all of this is going to vanish. And, so love fearlessly because it's all going to disappear. And so from that place, the music continues, and what is within us continues. I believe that. And for me, that's the music, right? And so I just ask you to celebrate with me today, please, because you have given me so much through the years. You've given me love and acceptance and a place to sing, and I thank you for that from all my heart, with all my heart. And so this is God is my source. God is my source. God is our source. So I had this other song picked out, but God is my source. I woke up this morning. I didn't sleep last night, thinking about everything and all the changes. And I was like, this morning, I'm like, I can't believe I'm awake, But maybe I'm more awake than I've been in a long time. I don't know. But anyway, God is my source. So please join in with us. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. I want to hear you sing it. Play it, Terry. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything that I need. God gives me everything. God gives us everything that we need. Truly, 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 truly. I promise with all my heart.
Thank you, Stephan, and thank you, Terry. That was great. Today's reading is Thoughts on Belonging, and this is from the book of Atlas of the Heart by Brené Brown. True belonging is the spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find sacredness in both being a part of something and standing along in the wilderness. True belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. Our yearning for belonging is so hardwired that we often try to acquire it by any means possible, including trying to fit in and hustling for approval and acceptance. Not only are these efforts hollow substitutes for belonging, but they are the greatest barriers to belonging. When we work to fit in and be accepted, our belonging is tenuous. If we do or say something that's true to who we are, but outside the expectations or rules of the group, we risk everything. If people don't really know who we are and what we believe or think, there is no true belonging. Belonging is a practice that requires us to be vulnerable, get uncomfortable, and learn how to be present with people without sacrificing who we are. Because we can feel belonging only if we have the courage to share our most authentic selves with people. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Thank you.
I want to say special thanks to Reverend Bev Holland, because there's someone who listens, really listens with their heart, and you know it. It just alters things, you know. And Bev, you are one of those people, and I appreciate that so much. You know, I grew up as a musician. Then I was a busker. I was a street musician for a while, a number of years actually. And sometimes my only food came from whatever that day, you know. So people at the Pike Place Market, they would sometimes they'd put a loaf of bread in your, you know, literally bread, right? And or like an avocado. It was cool. I loved getting the avocados. But anyway, so I had been doing all these things for all these years, traveling around doing music and everything. And then I remember sitting on my sofa thinking, I should do a CD. But I don't know what to do a CD about. And right in that moment, I heard God speak to me and said, will you write gospel songs and record that to bless people? And I said, I was having this whole conversation with God in my living room, and I said, yes, but I haven't written any songs, any gospel songs. And I heard God say, but you will. And the first song that came after that was this song, which is I Give God Praise. And every CD that I do, I put a version of I Give God Praise on it, because to me, that's all there is, you know, seriously. It was that whole conversation that day that just shifted everything and made me know what was mine to do. to write. So, all right. Can I hear a little more guitar and I can't hear things too good right now up here. If you could bring up the volume of the guitar and the vocal, please. God is everything. God is all in all. God is so divine. Everlasting light. The sun that shines, the stars at night, and so much more, so much more, so much more. Every breath, every breath, every move, every move, every tree, every bird, every sound and every word. The moon in the sky and the mountains up high, and you and I, you and I, you and I. I give God thanks for all my days. I'm glad for this time. I give God praise. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. I give God praise. Give God praise. I give God praise. God praise. I give God praise. Give God praise. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I give God praise. I give God praise. I give God praise. God is everything. Ooh, God is all in all. Is my all in all in all. God is so divine. Everlasting light. The sun that shines, the stars at night, and so much more, so much more, so much more.
I've been I've been listening to the music by Stephan Plummer since she came here, and I love it. So I think just a little more loving would be wonderful. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Bev Holland, and I want to thank Stephan for her promotion that she gave me today. I'm actually a religious science practitioner. I'm not a reverend, but I could be. I just haven't finished the schooling. That could be. But I do love music, as I think we probably all do. It enervates us. And I want to tell you a little story about last week. This happened. After the service, my husband and I went up north to the east side, and there's a symphony called the East Side Symphony. They play in Redmond. They're a community symphony, and they're excellent. We try to go to their holiday concert every year because it just is a wonderful break from all the busyness and craziness of Christmas season. But what we didn't plan on was being held up an additional 30 minutes in traffic. There was an accident that was being cleared, so that's not good. But our plan for an hour and 15 minutes became closer to 2 hours before we got there, and we knew we were going to miss something. So we parked and we rushed into the foyer. And the people there apparently had been helping lots of people that were late, because they were like rushing us and go, here, get in open the door and get in there. And it's a festival seating, so we had to wait. But the first song they were playing was the Blue Danube by Strauss, and that's one of my favorite songs. And so while we were standing there, the first thing I was doing was just looking to see where we could get 2 seats to sit together once they broke for the next song. But then I just got totally caught up in the music, and I ended up swaying to the music, and it felt like I was like enveloped in it. And there's no better feeling, as far as I'm concerned, as being enveloped in beautiful music. Not only was I enveloped, but I just was so appreciative of all of the 65 orchestra members. They all were totally on their game. They were absolutely flawless from my perspective. And they were passionate about what they did. And what I'm going to talk about today a lot is your why, which is your passion or your purpose in life. I thought of what I read in Science of Mind writings. With a voice comes song. With an instrument comes music. Yet it takes an orchestra to create a symphony. Each one of us is the musician of our own life. Our instrument might be our laptop, our paintbrush, maybe our pencil, all directed by our mind in a beautiful symphony of cultures and colors and styles. And everyone has talents and capabilities that we can share, resulting in a strong and beautiful community. It takes heart and the knowledge of our purpose, who we truly are, to articulate our life. How many of you have heard of Simon Sinek and his TED Talk called Start With Why? A few of us here, yeah. Well, in researching for this talk, I ran across a TEDx talk, which is part of the TED Talk Youth International Conference. And there's an international singer, Erica Jennings from Lithuania, who has done a TED Talk, a TEDx talk they call it, and talked about some of the blocks that she and her band had before and during the pandemic. They sent their audition pieces everywhere, she said. Every radio station, every studio, and they all said no. but she had done her work to find her why. Her why of why she does everything, anything, is to inspire and empower others. It wasn't to be a famous singer. It wasn't to make as much money as she possibly could. It was to empower and inspire others. And she kept that thought in her mind, that knowledge of who she truly is. And that's what really got them through. And in fact, they won an international award for their music right after the pandemic. Of course, the pandemic is sort of still here, isn't it? But when they started playing more then. She never forgot her why. Simon Sinek describes how important it is to know your why. It's more important than what you do or how you do it. When you operate with your why, you are showing what you believe and what you care about. It's one thing to say what you do or how you do it, but if you start with why, people will want to be involved. Think about what makes you have goosebumps in your life. What is it that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning, besides the alarm? This is your passion, your purpose, your why. Last week, Pam Migliozzi's message talked about being curious. So let's explore our own why. How many have actually worked that out for themselves? Great. So again, you can ask yourself, what gets me out of bed in the morning? What gives me goosebumps or God bumps? Some people like to say God bumps. What makes the why so important to us individually? When we know why we do something, it becomes easier to discern when to say yes and when to politely decline. If you didn't experience an aha, then here's another way to find out your why. Call a friend, someone you know well, who would come over at 3 a.m. if you needed them to. Not a spouse or another family member, not a girlfriend or a boyfriend. These are just too close. Best is someone you've known for a long time. Once you have their attention, ask them, why are we friends? They might be taken aback a little bit. Specifically, what is it about me that makes me your friend? Keep asking if they give you an answer about you. You're a good person, you're successful, you're accomplished, etc. You're looking for insights that give you God bumps. Keep asking your friend until they move from describing you to finally say how you make them feel. Such as, when we're together, I know I can trust you not to share anything I say unless I ask you to. I'm always comfortable with you, and I feel better about myself when I'm with you. So if you start to get goosebumps when you're asking these questions, that is going to lead you to your why. What comes to you when you do feel goosebumps? I find it humbling to hear somebody say that I've helped them in some way. In the last 2 weeks, we have explored how Science of Mind seeks to recognize wholeness through all things. How do we begin to work together so that we can create a larger container that demonstrates a world that works for everyone? It begins at the individual level, but it is also expressed by the way we choose to be in community together. Some of you are probably aware that a world that works for everyone is the Center for Spiritual Living international goal. We all have individual gifts and passions, and when we combine our talents and time, we begin to build something greater. We begin at the micro level, and our individual choices influence not only our experience, but the character of our community. Take a few moments to think how you would answer these questions. Take some notes in your bulletin if you like. How many communities do you belong to? For example, family, clubs, music, sports, education, spiritual center, on and on. Which ones of these are the most important to you? And how do you see your spirituality currently expressing in your communities? Here, it might be more obvious. At your job or your club, it might be very different. How do you think your spiritual perspective could be of service to any of these communities? And what would it take for you to begin to act on that? In addition to community, we have been considering the practice of belonging. In today's reading, psychologist and author Brené Brown said, "Belonging is a practice that requires us to be vulnerable and get uncomfortable with people without sacrificing who we are. When we have a strong sense of self and know our why, our confidence grows. Before we can belong to ourselves, however, we must recognize we belong to Spirit and are connected through the Spirit to everyone and everything else." A couple years ago, in the middle of the pandemic, several of us decided to study a transformative book called The Art of Possibility by a transformational couple, Benjamin Zander and Rosamund Stone Zander. Benjamin is the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra, and Rosamund is a family counselor and executive coach. Their work is centered on creating a life around vision, passion, and contribution. She and Benjamin describe these qualities in The Art of Possibility. I invite you to join me in a reflection exercise now. The Zanders call it giving way to passion. We teach in the Science of Mind that there is energy everywhere, in, around, through, above, and below everyone and everything. We can agree that the universe is sparkling with energy. We also believe that we are all one in spirit. But sometimes we feel like we're separate from everything else. We may even feel like an outsider in our own skin. Other times, we are so engaged in the subject or person at hand that we don't know where we end and the other begins. Will you try this with me now? To give way to passion, there are 2 steps. The first step is to notice. Notice where you are holding back and let go. Release those barriers internally that keep you separate and in control. And let the vital energy of passion surge through you, connecting you to all beyond. The second step is to participate fully. I'd like to ask you to go there with me now. Close your outer eyes or look down softly. Get comfortable in your seat. Put your shoes on the floor to absorb the energy of the earth beneath the soles of your feet. Take a deep breath in and out. Now practice square breathing to 4 counts. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now continue breathing naturally. Recall a time when you were in nature and you were in a potentially uncomfortable position. It could be next to a roaring waterfall with thousands of pounds breaking through the ice in early spring. It could be when you took a risk to ski the Black Diamond slopes for the first time. It might have been going on a river in a kayak. Whatever your memory is, feel the tension and let the vital energy of passion surge through you, connecting you with everything. Feel the excitement and the fear. Then surrender to the moment, allowing nature to guide you through it. Continue to breathe through the experience. And then, when you are ready, come back into the room and open your eyes. By letting go of fear, judgment, and the myriad of opinions flying around in our heads, we can act with assurance, confident in ourselves. This leaves the road open for us to embrace our passion with renewed energy and determination. Some of the most amazing organizations started with one person who let go and pursued their passion in extraordinary ways. One organization that comes to my mind is right here in Tacoma, the Tacoma Refugee Choir. Founded about 5 years ago by Aaron Gwinnett, a classically trained vocalist, the Tacoma Refugee Choir now contains 150 members from more than 20 countries. They have several music videos on YouTube and have performed for sellout crowds. Erin knew her passion was singing, and she asked the question, what if the refugee story was your story? What would you miss? Erin's answer was the basics, like food and shelter, but also friendships. The choir started as a place to sing and became a refuge, she said. It has been the saving grace for many of the members, and practice time is a celebration of human connectedness. Their original song, Let There Be Peace, shows that it takes diversity to create true harmony. What is your passion? Allow yourself to participate completely. Know that you are a channel to shape the stream of passion into a new expression. In her biography, Martha Graham had a great quote about passion. Martha Graham was a modern dancer, instructor, and innovator in the 20th century, and she lived almost the whole century. She was amazing. This is her quote. There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours, clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. And that this applies to all of us. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said, "Life is infinite energy coupled with limitless creative expression." And I found my true voice at the Science of Mind, recognizing who I truly am, not an 8-year-old would-be rockette, yeah, that was true, or a piano virtuoso like Terry, but someone who has been molded by all my experiences, just as everyone here has been affected by your experiences. Have you ever had an inner knowing, simply knowing that you are in the presence of the Source? From the first day I walked into this center, oh, here we go. Just a minute. I knew I was home. And there, wow, this hasn't happened for a while. There have been numerous times I have felt the presence of the living Spirit. Connecting with all of you and knowing that we are together is what keeps me going. I'm sorry. Just a minute. I'm not quite done. I have a visitor in the back there that is probably going to tease me the rest of the day. All right. That's what keeps me going. And I would like to share with you a quote from Scott Aubrey. Imagine you are the conductor of a symphony orchestra, a messenger for the music's composer. You're standing on the podium, perfectly in sync with the score, the orchestra members, and the audience. You raise the baton, instruments come up, perfect stillness. You move, and the entire orchestra responds as one. Then it happens. You are no longer the conductor, a member of the orchestra, or the audience. You are the music. Imagine what can happen right here when each of us finds our why and acts on it together as one. Have a blessed week. Ooh, so sorry.
I'm so glad that music is getting such a focus, you know, because even me, as much as in love as I am with music, I heard Ray Charles say once that if he got cut, then music symbols would come out. And I think that about myself too. I'm like, oh, that sounds like me. It's nice when you hear music getting focused on. Because a lot of times, you know, you go and you hear the music, and it's great, and then you just go, and then it's gone. It's like not in the existence anymore of that space, you know what I mean? Something else takes its space. But with our gadgets, they're always there. They're always there. They're always there. They're always there, you know? And remember this one time I was raising funds for a CD project, and everybody came, and then everybody was gone. And then my friend Jeanette Alexander, I look over at her and I'm like, because, I mean, we had all this stuff to break down, right? All the equipment and everything and all this stuff to do. And she said, Stephan, this is how it is to be a musician. And she said, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to help you. And the two of us, you know, worked for a couple hours. But, you know, to have that person that you're talking about who really does get it, you know. And, but anyway, I want to, I'm thinking about Reverend Caroline right now. And let's just send her that love again, you know. And I remember first meeting her years ago. And she was so vital, you know, and energetic. Do you remember that? And she gave these prayers that were just like extraordinary. I mean, they're just like out of this world, right? And I can still hear her in my head, and I was thinking, this woman is on fire, you know. She's got the goods. And so actually I want to dedicate this song to her. And I don't know, maybe she's listening in. But if not, you know, and just send her that love. And just... this is like a triumph song, you know, so it's for her and for all of us, too. So many pages. All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices of the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. The mountains to the valley, from the rivers to the sea. Every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace. Every simple act of mercy, every step to kingdom come. All the hope in every heart, see what love has done. As long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Testify to love, be a witness in the silences. Oh, when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Yeah, testify to love. I will testify to love. I give thanks to God above. When words are not enough, every breath I take, I will give thanks to God and testify to love. Testify to love.
I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward, please. It's nice to see you both. Hi. Please join me in saying our offering blessing together. Excuse me. Excuse me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Her message was very touching. The title too was very touching. It's Ode to Joy. And whenever you say Ode to Joy, you remember the composer of the Symphony Number 9, Beethoven, who was born yesterday, December 17, 1770. So 250 years today, yesterday. I'm not going to play all this song.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you to all of our wonderful musicians today. And just thank you, Bev, for such a beautiful, uplifting message. Thank you so much. So, as we bring this service to a close today, I know that God is right here. I absolutely know that God is with our beloved Caroline and with Eric, being blessed and surrounded by the love of God and peace and in comfort. And as we move into this week, Christmas week, let us move with the music. Let us dance with joy. Let us know that all is well. And let us know that God is watching over every beloved on earth, that we are all connected. We are connected by that one golden thread uniting all of us. And let us know that peace is at hand. A prayer for world peace. The power of God is always present and always working. And so I say thank you, God. Thank you for this beautiful morning. Thank you for the inspiring words. Thank you for the beautiful music. Thank you for each congregant that is here this morning. And so let us go into this week. Let us find our passion. Let us find where we want to be of service. And let us definitely find the joy and dance to the music. And I release this prayer knowing that it is already unfolding perfectly. I thank you, God. I thank you, each beloved. I release and I let go and joyously say, and so it is. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I feel pretty filled up with a lot of wonderful things. And I wanted to thank our practitioners and Bev for your vulnerability, for your messaging, Pam, for your prayers and meditation. We have an amazing group of people here, and I'll say a little bit more about them later. But to be so vulnerable and to bring one's truth to your messaging is really essential, and it's beautiful, and we thank you. So I have the joyous task of telling you all of these announcements and what's going on for this month and next. But I do want to say that we have an amazing group of people here at CSL, and many of them are our practitioners. They're called our spiritual coaches, and they're ready and willing to help us navigate solutions to changes and transitions in our lives with affirmative prayer. Each one of them has received up to 4 years of training before becoming licensed, and their primary role is to pray for us and with us, individually and collectively. After service, you can join Bev, Mona, and Pam in the prayer room in the back if you need to be held in a brief prayer circle. You can also contact a practitioner individually. Their contact information is on a listing on the back table and also on our website, which I want to note for you because you will be tested on this later. It's www.csltacoma.org. So keep that in mind. During this holiday season, please join us for some very special services. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve services will both be on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. And this year, Christmas Day and New Year's Day both fall on Sunday. So these services will be at our normal time at 10:30. Now let me tell you a little bit about each of these events. Christmas Eve, Reverend Karen Lindsley will be joining us virtually as she invites us to come together to celebrate light. And we will participate in a candle lighting ceremony during that service. On Christmas Day, that's at 6:30 p.m. And on Christmas Day, our normal time, 10:30, Reverend Karen will zoom in again as we celebrate a special Taizé service. It's modeled on the meditative services of song, chant, and music at the Taizé community in Europe, which has become a worldwide pilgrimage site in France. Now, we may not have quite the magic that they do, but we have our own kind of magic. We'll be presenting sacred and seasonal readings, songs, evocative music, and short meditations. And we already have a full complement of volunteers who are supporting this service, and we thank each of you for volunteering. Now, on New Year's Eve, that's December 31st, Saturday at 6:30, our staff minister, Drew Ebersole, will inspire us with his timely talk on how we can reframe, release, and renew for the new year. And then following that service at 7:30, the center is going to celebrate the new year with a game night. So we're asking you to come have fun, bring your favorite game, snacks to share, and your New Year's vibe. And we're even thinking about maybe showing a movie, but plans are still underway. So make a plan to stay and share some New Year's joy. On New Year's Day, looks like we'll be resuming our regular service. Okay, regular services. So as we look ahead to the new year, our center also looks forward to continuing our tradition and involvement with and for our congregation in a number of important activities. We're forming teams around those activities that you can be part of. There's hospitality, which I think involves a lot of food. Usher greeter, that's getting you in the door and collecting the offertory. Facilities, which is tending our grounds and this historic building. Marketing and outreach, which is to expand our presence in the community and also to bring in new members. Tracking birthdays. This is a very important personal celebration, so we want to track that. And compassionate care for anyone in our congregation who may need our assistance. So please, think about your skills and your interests and sign up today. There's a list in the back. And this way we'll be ready for 2023. You know, this is a very meaningful way to serve and to give back and to engage in community and to get to know one another better. Just say yes. You'll be glad you did. There's more. January also promises to be energizing and a lot of fun. Reverend Karen will be here in person on the weekend of January 14 to 15. On Saturday, January 14, from 10 to 1, she's going to offer a special workshop on how to experience unlimited abundance. The suggested love offering is $25. And that evening, from 5 o'clock, we're planning a fundraising dinner with the minister. Reverend Karen and a few helpers will prepare a pasta night dinner with a gluten-free option for those of us that need it, and a couple of different sauces, salad, garlic bread, and some dessert, all for just $25. And you can mingle with the minister. Now, on January 29, you'll notice on the very back of your program, there's some detail on the annual membership meeting that will be held after the regular service, and this will be at 12:15. And it's important that each of you come. They're going to be talking about CSL in a very open way. They're going to be voting for 3 new board seats. You can ask questions, find out what's going on with our center. So please make time to come. Don't leave this up to other people. This is one way you can participate and make a difference and be in the know, which is very important. We have a couple other special items coming up. Justin, would you like to come up and say a couple words about your discussion group? Okay, then I will announce that Justin, who is our treasurer, is going to start a 12-week class discussion based on the Artist Way, that it looks at a way of spiritually improving your own creativity in life. And that is, I understand it's $5 per class or $60 total. And I'm not sure of the time. 5 o'clock? Very good. Okay, thank you so much. And I don't see Doug here today. Doug Taylor is a practitioner and counselor. He's going to lead a workshop in February on how to supercharge your spiritual practice, featuring Christian mystical meditation and centering prayer. And this starts on February 11, and there's information in the back. Also, Reverend Drew, who's our staff minister, will continue his beautiful Thursday mindful meditations here from 7 to 8:15. So for all of these activities, you can sign up on our website, which is? Very good, okay. It'll say register here, and go there, and it gives you a little listing so you can identify yourself and how much you're paying. And one final thing. Did anyone have a birthday this last week? You did, and your name? Jessica? We would love to sing happy birthday to Jessica, okay? Terry, take us away. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. So never be shy when we ask you. That was fun. Okay, Stephan, our closing song, please.
So my closing song is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I'm thinking of every child being fed and healing for our planet, our beautiful planet, and just everyone who needs encouragement at this time of the year. Sing it with us. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, travel near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, with the fates alive. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Thank you, Terry. Thanks each of you.
Thank you,
Yeah, I think
Stephan.
we do the
Thank you all for coming. And now, as you can,
Peace
please
song.
stand and join hands across the aisle as it's our turn to sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
that would be probably better to